Hello, it's November 2023, and over the years I've talked about the cycles of civilization and the types of people that become the majority in this late stage of the last stage of civilization, the age of decadence. I've also talked about, even recently, the patterns within the cycles, the 100-year patterns, and even how, for example, the current United States president talks about it. And just to segue, just for a brief moment, I really pray that people pay attention to this, because this is the type of thing, this hidden knowledge in plain sight, that will help people survive. But that's, again, a different video. During this late stage, I've talked about the people who make the majority, who lack critical thinking skills and extensive knowledge base, cannot separate emotions when making conclusions. And everything for them is about feelings. It all boils down to feelings. I've highlighted how every single profession, doesn't matter which one, pick one, draws from the human gene pool. And those percentages are going to reflect in these professions. But I never really talked about how, and I've mentioned groups being impacted, but I never really talked about, using the example, belief systems and religions. Now, I've said very clearly that belief systems and religions have nothing to do with the Most High, or more commonly known as God. But even belief systems and religions will draw from the human gene pool, and if the majority, and the majority is, as an overall encompassing descriptive, weak-minded, lacking critical thinking, etc., that's going to reflect there. And we see even within religions all being divided. Now, for people, especially atheist types and whatever, they might say that all religions are fundamentally the same and superficially different. Nothing could be further from the truth. They're completely different and superficially the same. And that's key. But even within each, we see division. And I'm going to use Christianity as an example, where you have divisions of, is the Son, for example, also known as Jesus, the Most High, or is he not the Most High? So even within that community, there's a huge division. And there's so many other divisions because of interpretation and feelings and everything else. And no one can agree. And the big problem with that is, in today's world, everyone feels entitled, because everyone has been magically given the right to be heard, as if their opinions, theories, beliefs, wants, etc. matter. And I've said, using the example of pineapple on pizza, most people should only be reserved to give such opinions and feelings and everything else about pineapple on pizza. Is pineapple on pizza proper, or is it not? But we live in a world today where everything is just, the information pool has been so clouded because of this, and people really don't know what they're talking about. And we have a big contributor to that, and that being social media, where now everyone can just jump aboard. People who cannot interact with people face to face in the world and who have locked themselves up in their homes or wherever they are. And now they have an outlet and they can be heard. And we see even how people treat each other on social media so rudely. Things that you would never say to someone to their face, they're being said. Name calling and everything else. But anyway, other people have talked more about that than not really interested in that, but I just wanted to highlight where we are in the world today. So groups are being, any group on any topic are being affected. And we have, sticking with the example of belief systems and religions, between them, they're all divided. And people who are not involved in any of them, for example, atheist types, they're looking at all those groups, bunching them together in as one and saying everyone's arguing about their gods and everything else and stuff. And people are free to believe whatever nonsense they want to believe. The problem is when people cloud the information pool. Through that entitlement, they want to, or they see themselves as equal to everyone else. And then they start judging other people through their eyes, through their limited knowledge bases, their life experiences. For example, the woman who freaked out on the plane, or the crazy woman, or whatever, she's the one that was ranting how that MFer is not real. And just keep in mind, she was not the only one, is not the only one. And apparently that's still going on. It's just not as covered as much, but it's still going on. And a lot of people looked at her as crazy. A lot of people looked at her as drunk. A lot of people didn't know what to think. There's even a lot of people who thought that it was all staged. But there are some people who thought, well, hang on a second, what did she see? Because perhaps, more than likely, they experienced something themselves. And don't think for a moment that these things are not being covered up. Consider as an example, UFOs. For decades and decades, the official story is it's all swamp gas. It's not real. But now it's starting to come out through official sources that it is real. People want answers that make them feel comfortable. People want to remain in their comfort zone. So if an answer comes up, it's like, yeah, swamp gas. Okay, nothing to worry about. People want answers. Oh, the Most High is not real. Okay, I could live how I want. I don't have to give an answer when it's all over. And, that comes from the types of people who are the majority in this stage of civilization. So what's interesting about this woman on the plane is after many months she has come out and did an interview and was asked, what did you see? And she said, I didn't see anything. She kind of did an interview in the airport wearing the same clothes, and somebody ran into her, filmed her, and she said she can't talk about it. There's a lot of things that don't make sense with regards to her story. Even to go as far as to say that the woman on the plane, is not the same person we're seeing in various videos since, especially in the interview. Could it be? Yeah, it could be. I'm not stating either way if it is or isn't or anything else. I'm simply trying to highlight the controversies with that. Now, there was a guy on the plane who was a boxer from the UK. He ended up in jail in Croatia because he had seen something on the plane and kind of freaked out, and all this other misinformation, which I'm just going to segue for a moment again. Even with the woman on the plane, so many people were saying, mocking her, making fun of her, that, oh, she's seen a reptilian and lizard and all this other stuff. She never mentioned it at the time nor since. But we see how the information pool is so clouded with nonsense. The same with this guy, this boxer. He tried to open the door. He didn't try to open the door. Nothing like that. All he said was, I need to tell the pilot this, open the door to the pilot so I can tell him. And everything got skewed. And then there was an Asian man, same type of thing. There's all these stories, and they haven't stopped. But people, based on their limited knowledge base, lacking critical thinking, and not being able to separate their emotions, they're just crazy, to dismiss them, because they want something, they want an answer that keeps them in their comfort zone. And I did a video a while back about stepping outside of one's comfort zone. But we see political divisions, we see social divisions, and we have all the social justice stuff, and we have these perverse small groups of people having such a huge impact in today's world. We hear a lot about, for example, this thing called racism. Race is a politically correct way of saying subspecies, and racism is the dominant struggle within each. It's a natural dominant struggle. We see this throughout the animal kingdom. We also see within each race divisions and hating themselves and each other and everything else. You really have to step back and, as a descriptor, appreciate the planning, just the sheer, I'm just trying to think of the word, it just eluded me now. It's amazing, the intelligence behind this. And this intelligence is being supported by what, as a descriptive, many would call the ruling class, the elites, because they know. And I've been trying to share information about different topics and different things that most people don't know, they don't have. And I'm simply trying to say, look over there. That's all I've been doing. Just want to give you some things to think about. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.
Listen to this and write it down if you can't remember it. You're never going to outgrow warfare. You simply must learn to fight. I hear people saying to me, when is it going to get easier? When you die.